then our center of gravity is too high, and it makes it so that if we fade left, right, forward, or back, the bike is noticing it more. So typically the lower you get, the safer it's going to be. Man, there's a lot of situations where, like even this weekend, for example, where I would have had him in a different position and it would have avoided him crashing. But Jet's position is pretty much perfect everywhere. His toes sometimes get away from him a little bit. Sometimes his toes will be pointed out just like a tiny, tiny bit. But what Jet does maybe better than anybody, usually, and he messed up a couple times this weekend, is that upper body stability. So whether he's standing or sitting, you will rarely see Jet have his head to the inside of the bike. He's like super strong here and super strong here. So when he's standing or when he's sitting, you won't catch him doing one of these. Where if you watch like AJ Hampshire, it looks like somebody's punching him in the face because he's dodging left and right the whole time. So that bike is constantly like, what is going on up there? He's fading left, right, left, right. Where Jet, when you watch him sit, doesn't move from here. And the two crashes in the corners were caused from the track was slick, the front end started to go, and I guarantee you his nerves just had him a little bit weak, right? You know, when you guys get nervous, your legs will feel a little bit weak. I bet you he just was a little bit weak in the abs and the elbows, and the head dropped and puts you on the ground like that. When you watch somebody crash in a corner 9 times out of 10, maybe even more than that, it's because their head falls inside of the bike. This isn't street bike racing, there's not even an exception to this. Our head should never end up inside of the motorcycle. In sand and flat corners, there are situations where you can let the bike lean under you. So you can free that bike up with the hips and let the bike lean under you, whether you're standing or sitting. There's situations where we lean with the motorcycle, but there's never a situation where we lean inside of it. So really pay attention to that, and you guys will be thanking me later when you get to the sand sections and you can feel a little bit more stable, because we just have kind of that wherewithal to know where to stay. As far as working controls, make sure that we keep the knees back, and it's just simply a slide forward and a slide back. Slide forward, slide back. This is going to take some getting used to if you guys aren't comfortable with this position yet. Notice how the knees stay tight when I do this. I'm not disconnecting the knees from the shrouds ever. Whether I'm standing up or sitting down, notice how those knees are locked tight the entire time. Any questions about attack position specifically? All right. What we're going to do to start is we're going to do 10-minute stand-up only. This is a perfect track to do it on. Try some of the insides. Try some different lines in general. Play around with some stuff. When you're out there, really, especially the track is smooth right now, take the time to look down every once in a while, see where your feet are, kind of get an idea of where you are within that position. Also, those of you that have parents here or the ones with the cameras and the phones, take advantage of that as well. So whether halfway through the day you review some of that footage, or maybe later tonight or in the future, watch the footage from today, compare yourself to me, compare yourself to the videos that I put up online or the pro guys on TV, and see where you're at. Sometimes you think you're in the right spot, and then you see the video and you're like, oh, no, not even close. It's like, I use the analogy with golf now. I'm a terrible golfer, and I think when I'm swinging sometimes that it feels halfway decent, and then when somebody shows me a video, it doesn't look anything like what I thought it looked like. It's same thing for riding. You guys be like, oh, that was it. No, not yet, not quite. So get that video. Third-person video is invaluable. So try to get as much of that as you can. I didn't mention at riders meeting, parents, you're more than welcome when we work sections to be out there with us. Just be careful when we're crossing the track, obviously. But when we're out there, listen in, film as much as you can, get as much of this information as you guys can. In the 10-minute, really take note of what's getting sore. When you guys pull off, I want you guys to tell me what muscle groups are getting tired. I have a feeling that it's usually the same couple of muscle groups that you guys will complain about. So just keep track when you're out there, take note of what's feeling sore, and then I don't want to give away too much, but at the end I'll tell you why those muscle groups are getting sore and if it's the right muscle groups or not.
Is your brain a muscle group?
The brain.